The story begins as we see Misaki Aizawa, our fierce and disciplined lead, scolding 3 boys outside the school. Their appearance screams delinquents, and Misaki is having none of it. She lectures them on how they should be more like the nerd of the school, focused, respectful, and not trying to turn the place into their personal playground. Back in the student council room, she reflects on her mission. Her goal is to bring discipline to these unruly students, turning the school into a safe haven for girls. It used to be an all-boys school, but even now, with co-ed classes, it's still dominated by these troublemakers. Misaki's thoughts drift to how hard she's worked, climbing the academic ladder, sucking up to the teachers, to become the student council president. It wasn't easy, but she's determined to see her vision through. After class, Misaki patrols the halls like a demon queen guarding her territory. No one escapes her wrath as she takes down troublemakers left and right. But suddenly she hears a girl crying. Furious, she rushes to the scene, expecting another mess. Instead, she finds Yuzui Takumi, the school's most popular guy and the ultimate heartthrob, casually rejecting another confession, leaving the poor girl in tears. Misaki sighs. This is a scene she's way too familiar with. After school, just as Misaki is about to open the gate to her home, it breaks down, collapsing in front of her. It's a reminder of her family's financial struggles. They're too poor to repair the gate, and her sick mother works herself to exhaustion just to make ends meet. Inside, we meet her sister, a lottery-obsessed gambler, who casually roasts their shitty father for abandoning them with a mountain of debt. This also explains why Misaki has such deep-seated trust issues with men. At her part-time job, we see Misaki swap her stern demeanor for a frilly maid outfit. Yes, you heard that right, Misaki works at Maid Latte, a cute cafe where she serves customers with a smile. It's an embarrassing gig for someone as strict and prideful as her, but it pays well, and with her family's situation, she has no choice. She just prays that no one from school ever finds out. Her reputation would crumble. But today her worst nightmare comes to life. Just as she's finishing up her shift, she bumps into Yuzui, the lover boy himself. Misaki panics, but Yuzui remains completely unfazed, acting as though he didn't see a thing. His laid-back reaction only makes her more anxious. Later that night, Misaki confronts him, demanding that he never reveals her secret. Yuzui, however, simply smirks, enjoying the idea of keeping this little secret between them. He agrees, but only because it's more fun this way for him at least. Back at school, Yuzui watches Misaki from a distance. He notices how hard she pushes herself, beating the living daylights out of a poor punching bag, much to the delight of her fangirls. She stays late every day, working on student council tasks, seemingly trying to do everything on her own. Yuzui can't help but feel a bit concerned. One day, after an exhausting shift at the cafe, Misaki's secret is finally exposed. 3 delinquents spot her in her maid uniform, mock her, and start taking pictures. Normally, she'd fight back, but she's overworked, completely drained, and too weak to do anything. Just as things are about to get much worse, our Gigachad Yuzui steps in. His mere presence sends the delinquents running for their lives. It's a classic move, no words, just pure intimidation. Later, Misaki wakes up, noticing Yuzui's scarf wrapped around her. As memories of him protecting her flood back, she feels something strange. For the first time in her life, a man has made her feel safe. This isn't something she's used to, and it stirs emotions she didn't expect she would ever have. A few days later in the student council room, Misaki confidently outlines her plan for the school festival. She tells everyone this is their chance to change the school's bad reputation and promises, "I'll make sure everything goes perfectly," she says. But when the boys present their event ideas, they're quickly rejected, and not kindly. Even a simple rock-paper-scissors tournament doesn't stand a chance. Damn, she's stricter than my mom. With no other choice, they ask Yuzui to help. And knowing he has leverage over her, Misaki agrees. At the cafe, Misaki spots Yuzui again, sitting with his usual smirk. He watches her work, clearly enjoying the show. She stomps over, annoyed. "Why are you here again?" she snaps. Yuzui just smiles. "So, what did you do to make those delinquents my biggest fans?" she asks, suspicious of his involvement. For which he just shrugs it off. The festival preparations are underway, and Misaki is checking everything. When she visits a class planning a cafe, she gives them helpful advice on what works best. Wow, you're really good at this, the girl says, surprised. Misaki quickly brushes it off, embarrassed. My sister works at a cafe, that's all. Then she checks out a haunted house and isn't impressed. She thinks it'll scare the girls too much. Just as she's about to scold the students, one bumps into her. Her anger flares up, scaring him and everyone else into running away. Yuzui appears near the cafe again, irritating Misaki. Get lost, she yells, clearly done with his antics. But Yuzui just laughs, telling her, you should be gentler with the boys. You're turning them against you with the way you run things at school. Misaki shrugs, I don't care what they think. When the festival begins, everyone's looking here and there and having fun, but Misaki notices she hasn't seen Yuzui's class yet. What are they up to, she wonders and heads over to check. Inside, she sees the boys cosplaying as samurais, awkwardly serving customers. Just as she's about to lose it, Yuzui walks in, wearing a captain's outfit, making her blush. She quickly notices the girls in the room looking uncomfortable. Without a second thought, she kicks the boys out and starts lecturing them. But this time the boys push back. Why do you always side with the girls? You never listen to us, one of them says. Misaki realizes they're right. She hadn't been listening even when Yuzui tried to tell her. Feeling guilty, she apologizes, but it's not enough. With the mood tense, Misaki steps in to help with the class, going into serious work mode. But in the heat of the moment, she accidentally says a master out loud. The room goes quiet and things start to get awkward. Yuzui, as usual, saves the day. He steps in, serving customers smoothly, impressing the girls with his charm. Seeing Yuzui take the lead, the other boys join in, and the atmosphere becomes fun again. Misaki watches as everyone enjoys themselves, realizing she needs to respect the boys' opinions too. At the bonfire, Misaki thanks Yuzui for his help. Thanks for making me realize my mistakes again, she says, a little embarrassed. Yuzui grins, teasing her, should I tell everyone else about this too? Misaki blushes, flustered. Then, with a sudden move, Yuzui corners her. He leans in and whispers, you're mine, my maid, that is. Her cheeks turn bright red and for once, Misaki is at a loss for words. Back at the cafe, Misaki is faced with a new challenge. She has to play the role of a cute younger sister as part of the cafe's latest theme. Cafe owner Satsuki Hyodo and her fellow employees, Anoka and Erika, try to teach her how to act adorable in front of customers. Anoka, in particular, seems to take this role to heart, flaunting her talent with ease while noticing Misaki's awkward attempts. Frustrated with Misaki's struggles, Anoka doesn't hold back, telling her to stop blaming the theme and just do her job right. Later, as Misaki is heading home, Satsuki, the ever-enthusiastic cafe owner, catches up to her and offers an alternative. She suggests Misaki pick a different theme for her outfit next time. Just as Misaki is about to choose, Yuzui jumps in with his usual teasing tone, suggesting she'd look great in something see-through. Misaki's response? You guessed it, her usual fiery anger. Back at school, the idiot trio strikes again. This time, they're drawing a picture of Misaki, but before they get too carried away, Yuzui confiscates it, noting how beautiful it looks. He gives them 10 seconds to choose which color would suit her best. The first says red, symbolizing passion. The second votes for blue, calling it seductive. The last one chooses black. Yuzui remains undecided but keeps the picture anyway. During lunch, Misaki asks her friends Shizuko and Sakura if they have older siblings. Shizuko mentions she has an older brother who looks exactly like her, which leads Sakura to poke fun at her. Sakura, on the other hand, shares happy memories with her older sister, leaving Misaki to quietly reflect on sibling bonds. The staff at the cafe, including the new maid Subaru, notices Misaki's dedication to mastering her new role as the cute younger sister. She's even reading piles of books on the subject, much to everyone's surprise. After school, Yuzui, concerned as always, tries to convince Misaki that it's okay if she can't pull off the act. He suggests she switch shifts if it's too much, but in typical Misaki fashion, she refuses. She won't back down or act spoiled, as Anoka claimed. She's determined to learn no matter what. Of course, Yuzui can't resist getting close and teasing her, suggesting that if she becomes his little sister, it'd be so hot. The next time at the cafe, Misaki is ready to show off her newly developed skills. She's in full younger sister mode, nailing the cute act until Yujui walks in, of course. His presence throws her off completely. He isn't happy seeing her like this and constantly teases her, asking what she wants from him with all this cuteness. Misaki, flustered, breaks character in no time. But just as Yujui is about to leave, Misaki goes into overdrive, turning her little sister gacked up to the max. The result? Everyone is left completely stunned. The next day at school, a few girls are preparing to confess their feelings to Yujui. Gotta love these classic Japanese traditions. Just as Yujui is about to listen to one of them, he gets distracted. When he saw how Misaki injured herself while saving a boy from falling down the ladders. Yujui is clearly shaken, not even hearing what the girl in front of him is saying. When he snaps back to reality, he casually dismisses her with something about how he has a maid obsession and walks away like it's nothing. Later, Yujui finds Misaki in the hallway, about to head to her next class. But he's not focused on that. He quickly corners her and drags her to the infirmary to bandage her injured hand. While he's wrapping her wound, Yujui teases her again, mentioning how he always finds her either protecting girls or beating up boys. Not your typical romance heroine, right? As he finishes, Yujui questions why she'd risk herself to save that guy. There was no need after all. Misaki, without hesitation, responds, "Yeah, I'll save anyone if I can, even if it's you." This, of course, leaves Yujui completely stunned.